Hey everybody, I am the Creative Lady and this is nappylicious TV. Happy spring. Today is March 20th, 2019, and even though I'm still on hiatus in a way, I just want to pop back on tonight because I wanted to do this video for the sweater. I'll link it up here. I did the video earlier and then I did like a mood fabrics haul over on my other channel that I will link later in the video. So part 3 of my video palooza for the first day of spring. I wanted to, it's a full moon, so why not? I just said, let me just go all out, okay? But I'm sipping a little tea. I don't know if I'm going to be able to drink it because I forgot it's ginger and it is so strong. But it is the Prince of Peace lemon ginger. And it's like, I thought it was actually some of the chews that I like. I didn't know it was going to be tea. If you've ever had the Prince of Peace ginger, it is really good. But like I said, this is a tea that I've never had. I've had the chewables, the ginger chews, and they are so good. They're a little spicy, as is the tea. But this is no caffeine, was caffeine free, and it's got it's like sugar crystals looking things, and then you pour it in water or pour water over it, let it brew or whatever. But it's a little spicy. But just in case you're interested, this is not a sponsored video, y'all. It's not. But in case you see me sipping, and it comes in little packets like this. Since I'm sipping tea on myself tonight, you know, I figured let me sip some tea. But child, this is a little spicy. But let me see. Yeah, you got to be ready for that. It's got like a little bite to it. But anyway, y'all, with everything in the news about the Varsity cheating scandal, whatever, I was like in my feelings because, you know, it's like, oh my goodness, I don't even know how to even get started. But I'm going to share my journey with you all in case you don't know, so that you can get to know me a little bit better. And I'm not going to try to bash the people who are involved because it's allegedly, everything I'm saying about other people tonight will be alleged. But the stuff about me is spot on. But just to go over the Varsity scandal, where people have so much money already that they have paid upwards of $500,000 per child to be enrolled in like prestigious universities, thereby blocking, you know, someone who might have had a 4.2 or higher, or even just the average, a solid 3 something, you know, to get in to these schools. But someone may have paid their child's way. They'll go, you know, knocking somebody else out of a great opportunity just based on just, oh, rejected. You know what I'm saying? So I'm feeling some kind of way about that. So that's probably why there's already a, I don't know if it's class action lawsuit or just a lawsuit being filed individually, but I'm sure it's going to be many people, because people who were probably qualified and got rejected, and then to find out that people paid the way for their kid to get into these colleges, what a slap in the face for a lot of people. Okay. For me, I have not a similar story, but I'm just going to share my story, and you can put it where you want it, okay? And you'll be able to read into it what I am saying without saying a whole lot. But many of you know I'm from Mississippi. I attended public schools all my life, and my high school was pretty much all black. My HBCU, my first college, my undergrad was at an HBCU, Alcorn State University. And when I took the ACT, my score was like 16, and they still gave me a partial scholarship. They were like, okay, look at here, little girl, we're going to give you some money, but you going to have to come in here and do some work, okay? But I was able to balance it out with Pell Grants and things like that, and other things that were available at the time, financial aid. I was able to get financial aid. So the first year at Alcorn, I didn't have to pay anything. I just, you know, went to class and came back to my room and went home or whatever. Not really thinking about what it took to maintain the partial scholarship. I was supposed to keep a 3.0. Well, your first time away from home, and I'm an only child, and Alcorn is like 3 hours away from home. Is it two? What? Long enough, far enough away to be like in the woods. I love my HBCU. I love being from the country, but that was a whole other kind of country, and I was way away from home when I went down there. So I was like, oh my goodness. So kind of that adjustment period, and at the end of my freshman year, I had a 2.99, or was it 2.96? Maybe I'll say 2.96 just to make them feel better. But they took away my partial scholarship. I was like, what? They couldn't even give me not even a point or two. So I lost my scholarship, and I was like, oh my God, what is going on? So the next year, my sophomore year, I was no longer a lady of leisure, honey. I had to get out there and work, and I still had my financial aid, but it wasn't enough. So I had to do work study. And of all places, they put me in the college library. So I did my work study in the library. I was like, oh my goodness, what have I done? I am miserable. I could have been in my room, but I got to work. And of course, I had the low end of the schedule, weekends and nights and all that jive. I was like, ugh, this is so sucky. But as with all things, hindsight, it was preparing me for where I am right now. Okay. So I worked from sophomore year all the way up until my senior year, and I graduated, and I'm like, okay, I got my BA, my Bachelor of Arts in Communications. And when I graduated, we were in a recession. I think that was about 91, spring of 91. The first Bush was in office. Wasn't nobody giving out no jobs. You couldn't hardly get an unpaid internship. It was like a catch-22. If you had experience, you really couldn't get a job because there were no jobs. If you didn't have experience and you were trying to get a internship or some kind of whatever where you just work for free, they were like, oh, I'm like, dang, I can't even, get an unpaid doggone job. So I went through a year of bah humbug, and I will be honest with you and just tell you it was almost a full-on depression because I had done everything that they said we should do. I went to school, got an education, got a degree, and then here I am. What am I supposed to do? I can't get a job. So I went through that process, and it was a little depressing because I felt like a failure. I felt like I had wasted 4 years because honestly, I don't know if I shared this story before or not, but I had told my mom that I had a hustle. I had a plan. I love to do hair. So my plan was not to go to college right away. I wanted to go to a junior college first, which was at Hines Community College in Utica, Mississippi. And I wanted to get my license in cosmetology so that when I got to campus, I would be fixing hair in the dorm and making hand over fist money, right? My parents, especially my mom, was like, nope, Because if it was up to my dad, I would have went to the Air Force. But I'm like, I ain't fighting for nobody, So college was the road. So I was like, I want to go to school and get my cosmetology. My mom was like, nope. Because if you get out there and you get your license, you're going to start fixing hair and you're never going to go to school. Well, what's wrong with that? Because all the beauticians I see, they driving a big fat Benz or BMW or Cadillac or something. So I'm like, well, how bad could it be if I didn't? But they had other plans for me to do, more and better. So I went on to college, but in the back of my mind, I had this little thing. While I was in college, y'all, around my my junior year, a little girl came in, a freshman, had already got her license and everything. I'm going to her to get my hair done. So this heifer them already got a license and she's fixing hair in the dorm. Free water, free electricity. Honey, they were wrapped around the door. So sometimes you can't let other people, tell you what to do with your life. And I was still I was 18, so I probably could have just did what I wanted to do. But, I didn't want to be rebellious or disrespectful. So I just kind of, went along with it. But child, it's a rebellious streak up in here. But, I went on and listened to my mom. So after I graduated, fell into that, oh, woe is me, what am I going to do? Picked up different odd jobs. I worked as one of my friends got me a job as a job trainer for like developmentally challenged young people, or just people in general who wanted to work. They were able to work. They were mildly, I won't say, they were developmentally a little bit less than 100, okay? But they could still get out in the workforce and work. So I got that job as a job trainer, and I had never worked in McDonald's ever in my life because my parents wouldn't let me work because, oh, no, you got to be in school. You got to. Even in high school, my friends had the little paper hats. They were working and making money, whatever. But they were like, no, no, no. But anyway, so I worked as a job trainer in McDonald's. So I trained my girl how to do the work, and I was free to go. But you know me, I'm just like mother hen, wanted to make sure that she was safe and everything. So I pretty much stayed there and almost worked the job with her, But I did that for a while, and it's like, oh, this is unfulfilling, what am I going to do? I had signed up for them Discover cards, get the free t-shirt and little cup or mug or whatever. Child, I paid about $1,800 or whatever for that doggone free t-shirt and mug or whatever, okay? But that was the hustle back then with the Discover card. That was the card that I had, the doggone Discover, when it first came out. So I had bills, because shopping, clothes, free money, while I didn't have financial aid loans, because pretty much I had the financial grant and financial grant and work study. When I graduated, I didn't have any bills. I didn't owe anybody. So I just had that credit card, right? So after that, I sat around feeling, kind of whatever, like I said. But somehow one night, and this is it might be a long vlog, but it's kind of like a little chit chat, get to know me. I ain't fixing my hair, I ain't doing nothing, no makeup or nothing, just talking. So hopefully if you're interested, subscribe, hit the notification bell, yeah, all of that. But so one night I was laying on the couch in my mom's house, and we had this Fred Sanford TV that it would go off and come on. You had to hit it, I had to beat it, pow, 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 boom, 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 hit it, it's like boom, hit it, and it would come on, hit the volume, pow. I promise you, y'all, it was in the 80s we had that, but it was like a little color TV, but it was just having some technical issues, right? So one night I was laying on the couch feeling all low and everything, and then the television popped on. I promise to goodness on everything that I love, y'all. It was like on the PBS channel, because my mama wouldn't get cable, so we only had like 3 channels: ABC, CBS, NBC. I don't even know if Fox was around yet or not, but then PBS. So we had like 4 channels. It was on the PBS channel, and they were doing the marathon when they raised the money for the benefit or whatever, So it just popped on. Les Brown was delivering his "Yes You Can" or something about that, something about yes, the power, something. I got that book over here somewhere. If I can think about it, I'll link it down below. But it's Les Brown, like a motivational speaker. It was his turn, and the TV popped on. I was home alone. The TV popped on. I was like, what? And all I could do was hear this man waking me up out of my sleep, telling me whatever that catchphrase was, yes you can, and yes, and he talked about how his mama raised him, Mamie Brown's little baby boy, and all of this, and it was just so inspirational because I was so low that it was just like a godsend for him to pop on and all. I believe in that law of attraction, so I am a believer. If you're not, I understand, but this is my story and my journey. So I was like, I got fired up, y'all. I was like, okay, so I can't get an unpaid job. I can't do this. What do I have experience in? I got a degree in communications, but I couldn't get a broadcast internship nowhere. So I'm like, okay, fine, because I didn't have any experience, whatever, other than college, So they wanted people who had already done internships in school, right? So I got to thinking. I started strategizing. What can I do? So I said, well, all I've ever really done is worked in the library, even in college. That's all I've done. So I'm like, well, okay, I got to build on that. So by this time, when I graduated from Alcorn, I had spent my summertime working in the public library in my hometown. So I had that, public library under my belt. So the guy who was one of the librarians there was always telling me, you should go back to school. We need more African American librarians, and you're a woman. You should go back and just do it. And I was like, oh, it's so boring. I don't want to be a librarian. I want to be on the cutting edge in journalism and writing and broadcasting and production. I want to be on that side of creativity. But new strategy, I'm like, okay, I got to build on what I know. So I said, well, what can I do? I said, I need to go to grad school. Okay, didn't have no money, y'all. I got this credit card debt. Don't forget that now. Okay, my mama and dad wasn't gonna pay that because that was mine, so it was on me to take care of, even though they did. But it's just like, you made that bill, you're gonna have to pay it. I'm like, okay, whatever. So I said, okay. So I went and talked to the guy up at the library, and he said, well, you can go to USM, apply and get the application. You can get the mail for the application, or I forgot how you get the application, but you got to take the GRE. I'm like, oh my God, I wasn't even ready. Most folks be studying for these tests. The GRE was going to be given that Saturday. It's like Wednesday. What? So rather than trying to figure out how to find the place in Tougaloo or at Jackson State, I'm from the country now. I didn't like all that busy, moving around, fast traffic or whatever. So I used my aunt's car and drove that Saturday down to Alcorn to take the GRE. Again, that's about 2-3 hours away from home, but at least I was familiar with the, layout or whatever. So I took the GRE. I'm like, oh Lord, I wasn't ready. I was like, oh. So I took the GRE, got the application to apply to University of Southern Mississippi. Okay. So when my scores came back, they wrote me a letter. Were like, okay, well, your GRE was not as high as it should have been. I don't know what it was, y'all. Honestly, I don't remember, but it wasn't, spectacular, because I was like, I had driven 3 hours, wasn't prepared. I was like, okay, let me just at least bubble in. Okay, let me just at least fill it out and answer some questions. So it wasn't high enough to get full acceptance. So what they sent the letter back was, well, we will give you a conditional status, and depending on your grades at the end of the quarter, semester, whatever, will determine your eligibility, whether we're going to convert you to a full student or if we are going to not accept you at all. Like, you're not worthy. So I was like, oh my God, y'all, that was stressful too, because I'm coming from all of this stress and, all that. And here's somebody else telling me I'm not good enough. Basically, is what I heard. I heard, you're not good enough, little black girl. You are not good enough to be here. And like I said, coming from all black high school, all black, predominantly undergrad, to be onto the campus of a PWI, a predominantly white institution, was almost culture shock. And it was like, I got admitted. Okay, let me backtrack a little bit and I'll tell you more about that. I got admitted, but on a conditional status. So I'm like, okay, how am I going to pay for this? So they were like, well, we can give you, you can fill out the loan papers, and you can also do graduate assistant work or something like that, working in a lab, doing something work. Like, dang, work study. That means I got to work hard, super hard, to maintain my grades and trying to juggle work at the same time. So I'm like, okay. So meanwhile, in the background, my mother at her company, she worked at this company, and for many, many, many years, there was a scholarship program available that none of the black people could get an application for. All of the white employees who wanted to have that scholarship for their kids, those kids went to Mississippi State, Ole Miss, out of town, 100% free, because of that scholarship by that foundation. And I can't say where it is, but that scholarship was paying for their tuition out of state, wherever they wanted to go, full ride, just based on their parents being an employee of that company. And none of the black employees could get an application. So my mother, being the renegade that she is, one day, some of the big suits came through to tour the company. My mother stopped one of those men and said, "Hey, excuse me, sir. I hear that there's a scholarship available and we've never been able to get an application." So the man was like, "Yeah, there is a scholarship. If you want to know more about it." He was a big wig with the company. I kid you not. So my mother told me, she wrote, I forgot now how we got the paper, but it was a big, thick packet of papers to fill out. Oh my God, it was overwhelming, y'all. And I was under the gun to hurry up. Lo and behold, fast forward, I filled out the paperwork. I got the scholarship, y'all. I got a full ride to the University of Southern Mississippi based on my mother working at this company. So the door was knocked down. So I got money for anything I wanted. And then there was money left over. So I didn't have to pay one penny. I get emotional, y'all, when I think about it, because I went from, we might accept you as a conditional student, to sitting in that same lady's office who told me that, oh, had we not accepted you, we would have shot ourselves in the foot. So that lets me know that money talks, okay? And I came with my own money. I didn't have to work your little funky grad thing and try to keep up with the loan payment later, So my God provided for me, as always, to, be on that end of, he came right on time, okay? If that's not your thing, but that's mine. But I was able to, you know what I'm saying? He came in right in time, get the money that I needed, got into school, don't have not one loan payment at all. Now, to kind of connect this to what's going on across the country with this doggone Varsity Blues cheating scandal, the daughter of the actress that used to be on Full House, as you know, didn't even want to go to school. So why would someone, and I'm not understanding, and I haven't been keeping up with all of the details because it's just mind-boggling to me, but the girl didn't even want to go to school. The parents got buku money. The daddy, I probably got some of his clothes from Target in my closet. So they didn't really even need the money. They're probably going to inherit the parents' wealth, and they got $500,000 just laying around to pay for the kid to get in school. So I'm assuming they got money to burn, okay? So why? And then this girl didn't want to go to school. She wanted to go there for the parties and the football games, and she's a YouTuber. I know one of them is two. The lady from the Full House has two daughters, and they paid, I think, $500,000 each for $1 million. Didn't even want to go to school. And this girl, the one that I'm familiar with, she's got a YouTube channel. And when they were kicking her off those endorsements and like the Sephora collaboration and other endorsements, because I went back and watched some of her videos. I mean, I really liked the little girl. She was entertaining. But looking at it now, it's like, knowing what we know, it's like, wow. She already had money, the best equipment, and living the life. I ain't no hater, but dang, you know what I'm saying, we're already behind. And then you're trying to make it on YouTube. Excuse me, you got to make it on YouTube, and here's somebody with everything, just killing it because they've got the followers. And I'm wondering, were they paid or bought followers now, or subscribers? Because I mean, she went from 0 to 1 million like that. And so of course, with brands, they want to take advantage of that audience. So if you got a big subscriber count that looks like a big subscriber count, brands are willing to, send you free things and pay you to endorse their product, hoping to get a return on their investment. And I'm wondering how many people really bought. It could be that they bought because of who she was. Oh, I'm hoping that, excuse me, she'll give me a shout out or whatever. I don't know. But she had brand deals, and she was like, oh, this video is by Amazon, but it's not sponsored. But they have come and redone her whole dorm room. So I'm like, I don't know how that worked, but that sounds like a sponsored video to me, okay? But I ain't mad at her, but I really like her videos. I mean, she's entertaining, a young girl, you know what I'm saying? But it just made me look at things a whole lot different. Whereas I had somebody in my life telling me I wasn't good enough, and other people getting rejected, to someone just buying their way through life. And what does that really tell the kid? What does that mean, that you're going to be able to buy your way? And this girl could have gotten a job in a place and somebody looking to get a job, can just, no, you're not good enough, and just hire her friend. So I don't know, y'all. That thing had me in my feelings, along with a lot of other people who were feeling some kind of way with this whole scandal. Because why? You didn't even have to do it, Craig. Why you gotta lie, Craig? But anyway, y'all, I got that off my chest. But the moral of the story is, for me, I can identify and relate and understand. But on the other hand, I went through that to get to where I am now. So it might have been bumpy, windy, dippy, sometimes for us in life. But sometimes we got to look for the lesson in the middle of the just garbage. Gotta just don't ever give up. And that's my message for you all. Don't give up. If you're feeling some kind of way, don't stay there. Keep it moving, because if you stay there, you're just going to be spinning. So you just got to get up and go outside, get some sunshine on your face or something, read a book, do something other than lay there and wallow in your misery, because misery loves company, honey, and don't stay there. But like I said, I did graduate without any student loan bills, so I am so grateful and know that I was blessed to have that opportunity, because a lot of people, left college and still leaving college with, student loan debts, paying Sally Mae and Fannie Lou or whoever those people are. Thank God I don't know those people. But and then I used to be jealous, y'all. Not jealous, but I'm like, oh, they would get those refund checks, in college, undergrad. They would get those checks for their tuition, and they would get more than what they needed. And those refund checks, like I guess $1,200 and $1,300 or whatever, and they would be out there balling, y'all, buying clothes. And I was like, oh, I want some of that free money. If you can relate, comment down below, okay? Whether you got the free money or whether you were wishing you had it, but hindsight, it's like, oh my goodness, thank you for your protection. Okay, y'all, I think that's my woosah moment, because I was feeling some kind of way. Happy spring, y'all. Like I said, I'm going to leave a link to this outfit of the day, this sweater. I bought it from April. So thank y'all for watching. Subscribe to my channel, because I found out that most of y'all who watch my videos aren't even subscribed. So take a minute right now. Look at my face, y'all. If you're interested, subscribe to my channel. All right. I love you guys. Thank you for watching. And I will see you in the next video. Bye, y'all.